Hey, welcome everybody. It's another edition of Let's Talk Loco. I'm your host for today. I'm Tim Paul, and Nick's behind the camera here producing today. How you doing, Nick?
Hey everyone, how you doing, Tim?
Doing fantastic. It's a beautiful day out. It's going to rain and storm this afternoon, but at least it's not 99 degrees out there like it was yesterday.
It was pretty brutal yesterday.
It really was. But hey, I'm excited about today. We're going to introduce our guests in just a minute here, but I'm really excited about it. As one of the other hats I wear, other than this one, I'm also the board president at the Raue Center for the Arts, and I am so thrilled to announce that we're in between weeks of opening and closing week of Frozen Junior over at the Raue Center. Last week was outstanding. I mean, sales went through the roof because you guys are doing a great job. I'm telling you, the kids are wonderful. If you want to support the community kids, you want to do that and get out and see the show this week. And there's, we'll tell you how many shows there are in just a little bit. But I want to mention that the sponsors of the show, Intren, is a big sponsor of the Raue Center, specifically for this show go around. And also the Community Foundation of McHenry County is also sponsoring the show. So some shout outs for them. And we're happy to do that. Now, normally I'm here hosting Around the Piano podcast, or Two Majors and a Minor. And they're sponsored by Piano Trends Music Company, which is also helping sponsor today's show. So we're pretty happy. We're going to, in fact, Nick, were we going to teach Drew how to play piano or something,
yes,
right?
We were, yeah.
Yeah.
Drew was going to learn how to play the piano instead of just the triangle.
Exactly.
That would be pretty good.
I think so. We'll teach him to play more than one note,
Exactly.
You know? Exactly.
2-1-6 pianist.
That's right. Exactly. So, and that might be why he's not here today, because he's afraid we're going to pull him in for that.
Probably.
But yeah, so we've got a lot of music lessons going on this summer, Piano Trends Music. So if you want to learn to play an instrument or just get better at the one that you're doing, give us a call or check us out at pianotrends.com. All right, so now moving on for today, Disney's Frozen Junior at the Raue Center. So I'm going to let you guys, because Nick knows I mispronounce names terribly, but I know we got a Kate and a Kat and a Katie and a Kristen and a Christina. So I'm going to let you guys first, right here, who are here with us live, introduce yourself, tell us what you're doing with the show, and then we'll bring Christina and Kristen on.
You want to start? Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Katie. I'm the assistant stage manager. My name is Caitlin Copera, but I go by Kat. I'm the stage manager and props designer for the show.
Fantastic. So explain to people who don't know, aren't in the theater business, what does a stage manager and an assistant stage manager do on the show?
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. So stage management as a whole is kind of like the organization of everything that happens in the theater. So when it comes to rehearsal spaces, that's taking down blocking. So every movement that the actors make in the show, that's tracking every prop that's used in the show. And then come more closer to showtime, which we call Tech Week, when we add in all like our sound and lights and everything, then we're also tracking that when all of those cues happen. And then that's when we kind of split off. So come Tech Week, the stage manager, which is what I am, calls the show. And so basically every light cue, every scenic change, every sound cue, I say when that happens.
Okay.
And then backstage, I'll let you talk. Yeah. Like Kat was saying, during the rehearsal process, I kind of just help out with tracking, writing down blocking, painting props, things like that. But then, tech week rolls around, and that's when I can really kind of sink in, because that's when I kind of take over backstage. That's like my domain. So I help run everything that's happening backstage. So that's moving all of our set pieces. I place all the props on all of our prop tables. I help kids make sure they, know where they're going and what's happening. So yeah.
Wow. Sounds stressful and rewarding.
Mm.
Yeah. Especially when you're working with kids. Because what's the age group of the kids you're working with on this show?
7 to 13.
7 to 13.
So yeah, a good little mix there.
So it's a good mix there.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. We're going to come back and ask you some more questions, but we want to bring Kristen and Christina on board. Hey, how are you two doing?
Great.
Yeah, fantastic. How are you?
Terrific. Terrific. Go ahead and introduce yourselves. Tell us a little bit about your background and your involvement with the show as well.
Okay. I'm Christina. I'm Christina Georgie. I'm the director of Frozen Junior. I'm from Crystal Lake. I grew up in Crystal Lake, went to school in Crystal Lake, started theater in Crystal Lake. So I graduated from Illinois Wesleyan in 2023 with my BFA in acting. And I reached out to the Raue because they were starting their education program. And I thought, what a great place to come back to and help all the kiddos that I grew up in that community with. So yeah, that's who I am. The director of the show. I not only direct the kiddos on stage, but I also have to help direct the camp days in general. There are 43 kids in Frozen Junior, so the stage and the place where we rehearse are flooded with kiddos and personalities. So it's also about directing those personalities and where we can let them shine and where we can put them on stage as well.
That's awesome. I know, and it again, we talked about the word rewarding, but that has to be rewarding for you to start from scratch as part of the theater camp, which we want to touch base on as well, because it all brings it to a solution when they all get to go up on stage there and pull it all together. So, Kristen, tell us about you too.
Hello, I'm Kristen Bernardi, and I am the costume designer for this show. And this is my first show at the Raue, and it has just been the most amazing experience, most welcoming group of humans. I'm having an absolute blast. So, costume design as well as running wardrobe backstage is my thing. That's what I do. This show, like Christina mentioned, has 43 amazing and talented actors, and each actor has multiple costumes. So we have well over 150 costumes backstage, and I am just so proud of the kiddos being able to navigate not only what they do and act and shine, but do these quick changes and work with, like, they're doing professional theater at this young age. It's really great.
That's really awesome. So the kids have multiple costumes in this show?
They do. Each kid, I would say, has maybe 4 different costumes that they change. They play multiple roles, especially the ensemble, but the leads too also have a few costumes, and there's actually a lot of very quick changes. So they get into those costumes super quickly. All of that is strategically planned backstage, and it's really, really fun. Yeah.
That's really cool, because I know the show lasts about an hour in length, so you've got all those changes going on within that 1 hour. Now, these costumes, did you sew them all together yourself? How does that come about? Do you rent some costumes? How does that work?
Absolutely. So every show that I do is different. We really, really wanted to have this show look like the iconic Frozen that you picture and these kids grew up knowing and loving. So we actually found a rental package through the studio in Rockford, who is was amazing and worked with us so great. So we rented a majority of the costumes from them, as well as me sourcing and making other pieces. And then from there, we basically tried the costumes and fitted them on all the kids and then altered them from there to fit them and to make these changes and costume quick changes work.
That's fantastic. So, Christina, as director, you're watching all of this. You're overseeing all of this as it goes on. Take us on a little journey from the very beginning of theater camp and bring it up to today.
Yeah. The first week, I like to read through the script with the kiddos just to make sure. We also had 2 casts. So with having 43 kids, you never know what could happen. Injuries, illness. And this is such a big beast of a show. We wanted to make sure we had understudies for our show, which means that we have our 5 principal roles all have another person that is going to play them just in case something happens. But because of how young they are, we thought it would be great to give them a chance to perform. So it's almost like we're doing 2 shows, almost, in a way. We have 2 casts. So the first week, we really focused on learning the show. What does it mean? What is the values in Frozen? What are the themes? How can we relate to those as humans? Theater comes from human lives, so we're telling a story. So that's what we like to focus on in the first week. From there, we do putting it on its feet, blocking, what our set's going to look like. Kat helps tape out the set in a rehearsal hall so the kiddos can see what they're going to be playing with when they get to the stage. So stairs, where those are going to be. Oh, you can't walk that way. You're going to run into a door. All those sorts of things. And then there's a lot of
Sounds like
dancing.
stage manager work too.
Yeah, very much so.
Very much. And then we add our dancing, which our choreographer Jacqueline was fabulous. And then our music from Gavin, our music director. And so all of that takes place in our rehearsal hall. And from there, we get rehearsal props. So those are props that are not decorated yet. They're not stage ready, but the kiddos get to use something in their hands. And so that adds one more element. So we have the tape set, we have our rehearsal props. And then the final week of camp, Kristen came to fit them all in their costumes and start giving us little costume pieces like Elsa's gloves. She started to need to practice to take those off, a crown, a cape, things like that they get to start practicing actually using in the show. Just get it in muscle memory. And then after that is the big week, which is Tech Week, which is what the kids are most excited for, and we are all most stressed for out of excitement. But that's moving them into the theater, and they get to use everything. The set, that's what we start with at its bare bones, is the set. How do you move safely on a big set with 43 of you? How can you get around? And then after that, we had lights. For the show, we're grateful to use MTI's projections. We have like beautiful projections of Arendelle behind our set. So we add those in. And then finally, it's Kristen's costumes, which puts the piece together. For the kids are always the most excited to see their costumes.
Sure.
But it also
It's
is
a
so
big day.
rewarding as a director to finally see these characters in their iconic costumes. And all these kids who have worked so hard to become those characters in
Sure.
costume just is like the perfect little final puzzle piece too.
Yeah, I imagine their faces are really glowing when they the first time. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that's when I think working with kids is so much better than working with adults, you know, and
Mhm.
maybe
I
harder
only
to
work with
round up
kids.
once in a while, but still. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's fascinating. That's fascinating. I wanted to ask you guys a couple questions too, but first, before we do, I just wanted to mention that we've got sponsors for Let's Talk Loco, Shanti Canine and Spa, and you want to pamper your pup the peaceful way. So this is not for you guys, but this is for your pets, okay? But at Shanti Canine and Spa, we believe every dog deserves a gentle, calming grooming experience, from soothing baths and stylish cuts to nail trims and spa treatments. Your furry friend will feel relaxed and refreshed, looking their best. Stress-free atmosphere, full-service grooming, personalized care for all breeds, spa treatments available. So whether it's a quick cleanup or a full spa day, our compassionate professionals treat your dog like family. So book your appointment today They are located at 8505 Red Tail Drive, Village of Lakewood, Illinois, 60014. You can call for an appointment at 815-526-3087. That's 815-526-3087. Or you can visit them online at shanticaninespa.com, because your dog deserves more than just grooming. They deserve Shanti. And we have another sponsor that we're going to talk about in a little bit. But first, I want to ask you now. Now, Christina was explaining how this goes from start to finish. So as stage managers, when do you guys step in? Are you there as part of the very beginning when it's part of the theater classes as well?
Yeah,
And the
so our first day really starts at auditions. So
Mhm.
that's when we have like our kind of almost panelist little setup. And so for this show, it was me, Christina, Katie, Rob Charlow, the director of education.
Mhm.
I think that, and then Gavin.
And Gavin, yeah.
Our music director. So that's really when we start like hands-on on the show. But I know personally I get my paperwork like templates set up and everything,
Okay.
because there's a lot of stuff that I need to like be prepped to be sending out, because
Sure.
like after every rehearsal I send out a rehearsal report to all the teams so they know what happened, what got done, what didn't go great, what went great, things like that. And then I also send out what's called the daily call. So it's basically like the schedule for the day and who's all expected. In like professional adult theater, it's sometimes split up where like if we're only running scenes 1 through 5 and you're not in that scene, then you don't have to be there that day.
Sure.
So
Makes
look at the
sense.
daily call to make sure, oh, I'm not there when I don't need to be,
Right.
or I'm there when I need to be. And then yeah, but then for camp it was just like, this is what we'll be going over. Any reminders, like if we're going to be painting, which we do with our scenic designer a little bit, like bring paint clothes and things like that.
Sure.
So yeah.
Yeah. And even before auditions, it's we have a ton of pre-production meetings as well. So that's where we meet with our set designers, with our light designers, sound designers. And we start talking about the show before we've even casted it, before we've even met the kids. So
Right.
it's really a long process for all of us. And I think thinking about how it's going to finish this weekend, I'm like, oh, I can't think about it. I'm going to start crying.
right.
So
You know, and it is fascinating because a lot of people don't realize what goes into putting a show on like this. They don't realize that it starts months before the show ever hits the stage. And we really appreciate you guys for all that hard work. 'Cause we know it's a lot of hard work that you put into it. And at the Raue Center, it's fun there because the Raue Center is a community building and a community where we all come together to enjoy each other and to escape from the real world once in a while. Frozen Junior has definitely done that for our community this past weekend and hopefully this weekend. So this weekend, I know we've got a Friday evening show. I think it's a 7 o'clock show. No, it's an 8 o'clock show on Friday. And then Saturday, we have a matinee and an evening.
It's at 2 and at 7.
2 and at 7. And then Sunday, the finale, the
Closing
night, 2 o'clock. We're going to be there for at least one of those. I don't know if we want to go to closing or come in on Saturday. We'll find out. But now I understand that people, if they come to the Saturday afternoon show, they can actually meet Anna and Elsa. Huh? They maybe get an autograph or two or a picture taken.
Yeah.
So how did that come to pass? Because that's kind of a neat thing for the kids to experience. Whose idea was that?
Oh, I don't know, but
Was
I
it Rob?
remember it might have been Rob Charlow, our director of education.
Sounds like a Rob idea.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did it. We did it last year with our Moana Junior cast, which Christina and I did. And I think it was really great when we did it last year, so we wanted to do it again this year with, of course, Anna and Elsa. We had one meet and greet last weekend because we have, like Christina was talking about, our 2 casts. We had one of our casts do a meet and greet last weekend, and now we have one this weekend with our other cast.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's great. I love the way you all are including the understudies. It's really more than the understudy. They're getting to shine just as well. And from everything I've heard, it didn't matter which cast you were watching. The show was great either way. You couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah.
So that's a tribute to all of you doing that as well. So, Christina, as your director, what is your, like, the day of a show? What is your job to explain to people who never see the director because they go in to see the show? What are you doing on the show? The curtain goes up, and where are you?
It's actually quite wonderful because my job is they're majority done for the time being. The curtain goes up and I'm actually the first one you see. I give a little curtain speech about the process of Frozen Junior and then thanking our sponsors and letting them know about any other RCSA classes this fall. And then I sneak out the back and I go and I sit in the audience and I actually get to watch the show, which is my favorite
Yeah.
part because I sit in the back. So I get to watch all these families and parents of these kids who I've grown to love, like watch their kids up there. And it's so rewarding not only to see the kids recognize their parents in the audience, but see the parents just be so proud of what their kids have done in 6 weeks. So it's my
Exactly.
favorite thing. Yeah. But before the show, I also go back there and we do a little warm up circle with the kids,
Yeah.
warm up their voices and their bodies and give them a little pep talk before they get out there.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And what is really cool, and I've witnessed it for a long time, is I've seen a lot of kids from many years ago, including our own two children, have performed on the stage at the Raue in one form or another. And for all these kids to be able to say they were on that Raue stage, because they were on that stage with a lot of other famous people that have been on that stage at the Raue Center. So it's really cool. They carry that with them forever when they're adults and grown up. And I know it's true because I've had people come back who are now all grown up and they come back and they remember that experience at the Raue Center. So you're creating some magic there with the kids and working with them. And the community does appreciate that. They really do. And Kristen, I've got a question for you, but first, so hang on to that. I'll be right back there. Oh, we did that commercial already. We'll do the other one. Salon Cora, they're another sponsor of Let's Talk Local. And if you're looking for a salon that feels like family, by the way, this one you guys could go to. It's not for the dogs. Okay. At Salon Cora, you're not just another appointment, you're part of the community. So from nails to pedicures, expert haircuts to vibrant hair color. Hey, Nick, what do you think? You think I can get a haircut there? Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, just a little. But they offer top-notch services, and they do it with a personal touch. Their talented team is dedicated to making you look and feel your best, all in a warm, welcoming environment and atmosphere where you're treated like one of their own. Whether you're stopping by for a quick manicure or a full hair transformation, exceptional care, it's always guaranteed. You ready to experience the Salon Cora difference? Give them a call at area code 815-893-4340. That's 815-893-4340. You can also email them at saloncora@gmail.com. That's SALONCORA, saloncora@gmail.com. You can book the appointment either way. Salon Cora, where family, beauty, and care come together. Book online now at saloncora.com. And be sure to let me know that Let's Talk Local sent you. All right. So, Kristen, my question is, I know it's basically the same question I was going to ask Christina. Curtain goes up. I know you're not in the back of the theater watching the parents. You've got to be on stage trying to keep track of the little kiddos and all those quick costume changes.
Absolutely. So curtain goes up just like, very interestingly, just like all the kids have their choreography on stage and their lines on stage and things like that. Backstage, they have something called their costume track. So it is planned very strategically where their costumes live and are and where they have to be backstage at what time in what place to put on these costumes. For example, Anna has a quick change into a whole completely new look that literally feels like 5 seconds long. So I'm backstage running my track, knowing where I need to be with whose costume to get ready for them to run off the stage, pull what they're wearing off, put what they have to wear on next on, and have them go straight there. So I have basically like a track that does that the whole time backstage, and it's with a lot of quick changes. Then that goes to portions where our ensemble is changing at the same time, because a lot of the big costume changes is basically everyone at the same time. So I'm helping and assisting with all of that. And basically it's just planned chaos back there. We know where we need to be, where we have what we have, when we have to do our stuff. But there's a plan. So I'm running around back there. I'm maybe sweating more than the actors on stage. I'm like, how are you not as tired as me right now? But yeah, it's fun. And then there's moments too. My job is, oh my goodness, from my dance move, there's a rip in my costume. We got to run them over to the sewing machine, put their costume in real quick, or grab a safety pin, fix that up. It's live theater, so these things happen on the fly, and you never know what's going to happen. So you have to always be on your toes, prepared. I have an apron that has all the major sewing supplies I need. If I'm in this corner, this thing happens, and I have to repair it really quickly. It's really a lot of fun. So it's like I have a show back there while that show is going on stage as well.
So you never actually see the show?
No. Oh my goodness. Well, so there's some moments, if the whole ensemble's on the stage, you can maybe assume I'm able to take a little peek. So I'll look through on the wing, or we have monitors back there so I can see the show that way. For a little bit, one thing I do try to carve out is we do have a really exciting costume change that happens on stage. Our Elsa has a transformation dress. So basically she's in this coronation gown that she starts in, and on stage it gets pulled off of her. Well, it's magic. Basically, like this.
Don't spoil it. What are you doing?
Like this. The gown changes into that iconic sequin blue dress that we know. So I do try to take that 1 second to go up to the monitor and see that magic happen, and then run back and do my thing. A lot of the actors backstage are also looking and excited for that moment.
Oh, I bet you get quite a response out of the audience during that scene then too.
That's probably our biggest reaction.
That's my favorite part of the show for sure.
Yeah.
I'm the person who facilitates Elsa's magic, I will say.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's magic. Just kidding. Katie does the big part on the tech end to make it happen. Mm-hmm.
So everybody out there who's watching and going to the show this weekend for the first time, watch for this magic. It happen somewhere during the show, so pay attention.
And it's quick, so don't blink.
Quick. Yeah.
It's very quick.
That sounds. So I'm going to ask all of you one more question. Just tell me what your biggest challenge has been in working this show. How's that? You all must have a different answer for that. You have yours? Okay, you go first then.
Yeah. So getting away from the stage manager hat for a little bit, my props, I also designed all the props in the show. So I went to many antique stores and like thrift stores and online, and Amazon was my best friend, to make sure that everything that they use in the show was available and was there.
And as board president, I appreciate you shopping around and keeping it in budget.
Yeah. Budget. Okay.
I know you are.
But my favorite prop and the most challenging prop was in the beginning of the show during a song called A Little Bit of You. Our like young Elsa and our young Anna are playing in their bedroom, and they have to build Olaf out of different toys that they find in their little toy box. And so I had to not only find all of these toys that could be pieced together, but also then make sure they could be pieced together. And Olaf is a very organic shaped little guy. And so I think ironically building his head was the easiest thing. Like that was the part that was like done, looks like him, cool. But he is built out of little toy block feet, and then a basketball, and then a drum, and then the drum, like drumsticks, or like these massive pencils I found. were are his arms, and then his head goes onto the drum and makes like his head and his jaw. So that whole balancing act, and it's all done with a lot of magnets and a lot of hot glue. But then like at home, like even during tech, he would stand up for me and I'd be like, okay, Olaf, get in the box and we're going back. And then on stage, the actors were like still struggling to get him to stand up. And so that was like a big learning moment for me of being like, okay, like, cause I've never been an actor. But like getting into the mindset of what they're all like, they're not only just trying to build Olaf, they're trying to sing their lines, they're trying to like remember their blocking, they're trying to make sure that their apron doesn't fall off, like, and they're thinking about all these different things, as well as being kids who are like maybe doing this for the first time. And so it took many reiterations of little Olaf, but I am happy to say he has not fallen over in a show yet. So he should, except for in the box, but that was okay.
We always cheer whenever he stands up.
Yep, we're on heads up like, guys, he did it.
He did it again.
So yeah, that's my
part of the magic, right? Part of the magic. How about you, Katie?
Ooh, okay. So I feel like, the thing I've struggled with the most is probably, so I've performed with or worked with the Raue for a couple different productions now, both backstage, doing technical stuff, and on stage as a performer. And I think the hardest thing that I had to work through this go round was learning how to turn myself into a well-oiled machine, like how to have my setup and my routine, especially for tech week and actual shows. Like, how do I run backstage and be a good leader back there, without being too passive and without being like authoritarian either. So I think that was probably the biggest challenge. Oh, and not buying Starbucks every time I'm at the Raue. It's so tempting. It's so close.
difficult.
That's that's the problem. Yeah, it's like a 2-minute walk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Kristen, how about you? Biggest challenge?
So I would say the biggest challenge for me is, interestingly enough, for this show, we did go with a rental package for most of our costumes, and a rental package is a blessing and a curse at the same time, because if I was designing this show from complete scratch, like they said, we prepare for things like this months in advance. So once I first got those kids' measurements, I can kind of start making their costumes, sourcing their costumes, and all of that. When it comes to renting, you only get the costumes for a very short, specific timeline. So we, and again, this package is amazing. The Studio Rockford hooked us up perfect. These costumes are everything. But with that, I only got these costumes about not even a week before all the kids needed to be in them. So with that, these costumes are built for other people. So I guess the hardest part in that is making 43 children with at least 4 costumes each fits perfectly into costumes built for other humans in a very, very short amount of time. So it's just it's just that, but it was great. It happened, and just a lot of work in a short amount of time.
That's cool. Well, you three have definitely met all of your challenges. Now, what do you think about Christina? Final word, Christina.
I think mine would be making sure each kiddo has a chance to tell their story on stage. With 43 kids and only, 8 big roles and some understudies, I wanted to make sure everybody had some sort of solo moment in the show where they got to have their self shine. At the beginning of camp, we had them do this exercise where they got, even if you were a dancer, an ensemble member, I wanted you to pick a name, what your relationship to Elsa and Anna is, what you do in Arendelle, what your job is, what you look like, just so they still felt they had a story, because they do. The ensemble is the core of a show, and we couldn't do Frozen without all those dancers, without all those townspeople. So making sure that each kid had a chance to shine, and once we're on the Raue stage, that the audience can see them shine, because it's a big
Exactly.
stage and a big audience. So I want to make sure everybody can see that. But that was mine. I think we hit it. I think we hit it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. And I know every parent of every child that's on that stage appreciates that too, because again, it's creating memories and a community spirit. And it's really important because it happens because of you and everybody involved with the show. So I want to thank all of you for being here, and I'm going to put you all on the spot one last time before we go. So don't panic. But I want to thank Nick for producing back there and keeping everything going, because we couldn't do it without you. So thank you, Nick. We appreciate that. Nick, our producer. You bet. Okay, so here we go. So first of all, are you guys tired of hearing Let It Go yet?
Maybe a little bit.
A little bit?
The song or the phrase? Because because both of them have much different options.
They do. Well, I don't know how often you watch any of our podcasts, but we usually do a little something at the end, like the two majors and the minor. We always do the seventh inning stretch with whoever's our guest. So I was thinking maybe the four of you could sing like the last verse of Let It Go.
Let It Go. What's the last verse?
Remember what's that?
Oh.
Da, 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 da. Yeah. What do you think?
Start me off where we're going.
Yeah.
Like, give me a count.
1.
Oh yeah. Whoa.
1, 2, 3.
The cold never bothered
Bothered me anyway.
Oh, that's awesome. Love it. Let It Go. Frozen Junior at the Raue Center this weekend, Friday, 8 p.m., Saturday, 2 p.m. and 7 p.m., and Sunday, 2 p.m. matinee. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
you.